First time we did an Italian job was in 2018. I I'll let Sue talk about her experience, but I had to drive out alone. So I didn't know anyone. I'd read about it in an article, and I set off from home to meet the trip. And one of the great things was that the first night in Folkestone, when I met up with them, I was immediately included in the group, which I thought was great. And then I drove out alone, and I would say I was almost looked after by the other jobbers because I was alone, making sure that everything was okay.
I was immediately embraced into the group, so at no point did I feel an outsider, and it's that warm welcome and the friendship that we were able to make that really has got us hooked ever since. Whether you're a petrol head or not, and I'm not, as a result of doing the trips, I've now got myself a classic Mini, and I'm intending to be a co-driver. And I would say that's about the inspiration of other women. And as I say, that welcome, because at no point did I feel on the outside. You do things that you didn't even know were possible in a beautiful country. So, for example, we've visited palaces, vineyards,
motor racing courses that you wouldn't normally get on and drive round. We were lucky enough to go on the top of the Fiat test track in Turin. I think it's Turin. I hope I got it right. Fabulous locations, both for petrol heads and non-petrol heads. So vineyards for the drinkers, olive production factories.
I don't know where the organisers find the restaurants for lunch, for example, where you're eating exquisite food in beautiful surroundings. They're not restaurants you would find as a tourist. And you start to get under the skin of Italy in a way that you wouldn't if you were just going out as a visitor to the country.
You have little tests which are in an area somewhere, and it may be driving around cones, reversing into cone garages, squashing cups, and you're timed, and you get either points knocked off or put on for different things you do. And it's all done with great humour. I mean, the first year I went, I had a 400e Ford Dormobile, so it's not totally minis that go. Any vehicle that featured in the film can go. It's 3-speed gearbox, maximum 50 miles an hour. So the chances of me squashing cups and getting in round bollards very quickly was very slim. But everyone gave you great encouragement.
So, for example, we did a treasure hunt in Rome, which involved us spending half a day in that beautiful city. For me, the most memorable things were the accompanied processions through Turin and Rome, where you have a police escort. You're in a trail of vehicles and passing beautiful places. Many of them were in the film, but also being cheered by the Turins themselves. So you sort of feel like a star for the day driving. That would never happen to you. And then we ended up in this amazing square, not usually open for vehicles. And the tourists and the city members are coming around, looking at your car, asking to sit in it. That for me is that makes it memorable.
One of the great things is the organisers have something they call the service van, and it's two guys who are mechanics. They have all their tools. They're loaned a whole raft of spares by one of the Mini suppliers, and there is a set route. So getting out to Italy, you can choose to do something called the service van route, and they will be following along at the back. And if you're seen to be broken down somewhere, or you can WhatsApp them to say you've got a problem, and they'll come round. And in the 3 trips I've done, I'm only aware of one vehicle which they weren't able to fix. And that was actually the driver's fault because he just drove the engine to destruction. So there wasn't much left of it to repair. They've always managed to get it sorted out. But also the other jobbers that are on there, if they see you on the hard shoulder or somewhere on the side of the road, they will always stop and just check that you've stopped on purpose and you're not broken down, and offer help and support. Yes, you have things to do, and you know, there's a schedule for everyone to follow. You can bail out if you want to, but I didn't find it too onerous because you're going to places that are interesting, so you're not driving all the time. You'll then walk around and visit things, and then you'll get back in the vehicle and set off to somewhere else.
So there's plenty of freedom within the time. So it is a holiday, but it's also things like in the evening, there's always something going on. The dress dinner at the end is something to look forward to. I've spoken about the lunches. The lunches aren't quick, drop in and eat your lunch. They're usually a couple of hours, very leisurely. The co-driver can have wine, obviously not the driver. So there's at no point did I feel rushed or stressed. In fact, the whole experience makes you excited to see what's next, because every day is different. So anyone thinking it's going to be onerous and exhausting, it really isn't.
And you know, the dinners in the evening, you know, you swap around tables, you know, you're talking, meeting new people, talking to people about with a common interest to the events of the day or the trip. And you know, it's an interesting evening meal, aside from the one which is the black tie dinner on the last night, which is always very good. And I won't spoil it for people that go, but actually it is a very nice evening. We got sponsorship from different people for putting something on the car.
For example, I did an afternoon tea and just asked people to come and make a donation. I did a gin tasting night, and again, people, they came, they made a donation. Then from your point of view,
I did. I put a footer on our emails, both personal and at the time, the first ones, our work emails, just explaining what we were doing, and set up a Just Giving page. I mean, that's not onerous because effectively you're relying on people doing it. And I was surprised at how many people did donate by that means. I also spoke to a local pub and said, can I put a collection box, which I got via the Italian job, a bottle collection box by their till, so that people could put their change in. But actually it's really, really important, giving young people a good start in life, or a better start than they would get, that people are willing to donate.
Everything you raise potentially can go to your own area. So we know that children within our county got money as a result of what we were raising. And I think that when you're talking to people, helps them to connect with the charity perhaps a bit more than if it was a national charity or the money was going into this pot, undefined pot. And I think that's something that's really important to remember.
So every pound you raise actually goes to support a child. There is no money taken out for marketing or administration or anything else, and it's very unusual in charities for that to be the case. And one of the reasons why, one, we really want to support children because they're our future, but also it's great to know that everything that you've raised actually is being spent on them and not someone else.
We feel, and that's because of the skill and commitment of Freddie and Julia, that we really feel we know the organisers of the Italian job, and the support that the Red Caps give you. That is something that I don't believe would have hooked me in as much